kind of toss it over to you, Ludo, if you've got anything you want to kind of talk about that you've been working on, or you know, definitely air mid specific or anything else that you've been cooking on as well that is related to Voy, and then we can kind of dig into the rest of the agenda.
Yeah, so I start with the Aramid,
Sweet.
and I've got some good news.
Oh, fantastic.
I've finally created a script which we can kind of reverse or process the EVM transactions. So if there is, for example, EVM transaction without the destination address specified, we can reverse it back to EVM.
Mhm.
Uh, and Yeah, or if there is like some transaction from base to Arbitrum, we can either process or reverse the transaction there. In manual mode, it means that one soldier signs the transactions, other soldier cosign, and then with EVM it's a little bit challenging because we publish the proofs to the blockchain, or not proofs but the claim data to the blockchain, and to the Aramid blockchain, and then this transaction can be again claimed with this new claim data, because we usually don't pay for EVM network fees.
Mhm.
But actually, I tried to settle one of the transactions, but my MetaMask is not working properly, so I need to settle this with Daniel first on the first transaction.
Sure.
But I have high hopes that everything is already prepared correctly.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm curious, how much has been bridged from EVM, or like let's just say like ETH in general, like how much have you guys bridged that's sitting in either, and I could probably look up the Voy one, but Algorand and Voy.
On explorer.aramid.finance should be some statistics. And if yeah, I'm not sure at the moment.
Yeah, and it's just base and Arbitrum, right? I
Base
do have
Arbitrum, Whale
got some
Ground.
Voy over on base right now, actually. And it's kind of funny because when I go and I look in my MetaMask, it just says on there, it says that it's like it's too risky to track.
Too risky to track? What does it
Yeah,
mean?
I'll take a screenshot of it and send it in the chat here. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Let me pull it up real quick. But maybe it's just because there's like not a whole lot of liquidity. And then the other piece is, the clawback. Where did it go? Looks like it's not showing in my wall. Oh, there it is. Yeah, risky. And then it says Avoy is a suspicious token. Let me share this with you, just so you know, like kind of what's on the other side of it. Um,
I'm not the EVM expert, but if you send the screenshot to the chat, I can discuss this with Daniel. Like, what should we do?
mm, yeah, let me get this in here. It's funny. I'm looking at this wallet and I see all these old meme coins. You know. So I shared the screenshot. You can see it says Air Midboy, and it's got this big yellow risky warning. And then when you click
Mhm.
into it, it just says Avoy is a suspicious token, and it doesn't show any. It doesn't show any balance in there. But I do have like I don't know 600,000, almost 700,000 Voy over there, which is not like obviously not a whole lot. Um, but it's one of those things.
Yeah, perhaps there is not a lot of liquidity in the pools, in
Yeah.
the EVM pools for this. That's why it's
That's
considered
what I
to
was
be
thinking,
risky.
and MetaMask might also have like, like if there's freezing clawback on the tokens, they might have like a warning sign on it.
But we don't have freeze and clawback on EVM side.
Okay, yeah, then that's not a. It says low locked liquidity, concentrated supply, unstable price. Those are the security trust elements of it. So, just as a kind of FYI, and I don't know what the best way to go about helping that, but maybe it's I don't know if there's like a farming program on Uniswap or something else over there that we can we can start to try to incentivize similar to the incentive program that I had put a proposal in for. But it might make sense to, try to get some more liquidity over there and capture some attention. I know it's a much bigger pond than than the Algorand space, but at the same time, like I don't see why we wouldn't be able to try to do something over there.
Yeah. Okay. And then regarding the capitalism game, I would like to continue building. So can I consider today that it's kind of unlock of the freeze for the hackathon or
Mm,
something like this? Because
mhm.
I would like to spend my AI credits
Nice.
until I can till the end of the month.
Yeah. You got to burn them somehow, right?
Yeah. Like actually I found out like I was running this system um uh, uh, like there is an agent which merges the pull requests if they are correct or writes to the pull request like continue with I don't know testing or whatever and uh, this agent if there is no pull request he creates like GitHub issue and this uh, like creates GitHub issue like from one of the items from the roadmap or from the product description
Mhm,
and assigns the GitHub issue to the copilot. So other agent works on it and creates a pull request, and this is how they basically cycle. And yeah, the output is basically this capitalism game. But
mhm,
the thing is that the copilot is changing now the licensing. We are not going to pay per request, but for the AI credits, like for the
mhm,
tokens.
mhm,
And they have created a calculator, like how much I uh, uh, paid like last month and how much I would pay like next month.
mhm,
And I've got nice statistics that like I use the AI credits worth of like $3,500
Wow.
for
Yeah.
for for these $40 that I basically paid them. Like so,
Right.
so my way of coding will probably have to change.
Sure.
But
Oh,
but
totally.
at least we have this capitalism game created
But I
like
feel like it's
for
all about, like, the
almost
context
free.
and in your prompts and stuff. So, like, I use a lot of different AI tools, and what I've learned is that, the context windows get pretty congested if you give it too much, like, information, right? So it's almost like, you know
From my side, it's not about the context because it's more like that I was running the thing for basically nonstop.
mhm.
It was iterating on the product description like for something like 1 month.
Sure, that makes sense.
And
Yeah, that's an uh-oh, though, when you burn through, like, you know, more than 100% of the credits that you were planning on using. Oops,
yeah,
right?
uh, yeah, I would post the picture here, but somehow I cannot. Like,
Oh, no.
uh, how did you
That's
post the picture?
yeah, it's funny. I mean, yeah, a bummer, but it's one of those things. I was hearing a bunch of people talking about, like, credit, or I forget what it was. It was like, yeah, AI credit maxing or something like that, where you're trying to, get the most out of your AI credits. I forget what, it was like a meme that was going around a couple weeks ago, but
Yeah, and like the calculator suggested me that I should pay like 100 upgrade to the max subscription, which will cost now
Mhm.
like $100 per month, and I would save like $69, so I would pay only 3,400.
That's how they'll get you, man. I know it's kinda crazy. It's like, yeah, at a certain point when, like, uh, will the cost of using these AI systems be more than the output of what they are? And I feel like there's gonna possibly be a reckoning of that. It seems like, a lot of, at least in the, like, corporate and enterprise world, there's a lot of, like, money and effort that's going into adopting AI tools, and firing people and all that stuff. But the if the cost of compute continues to rise, and there's not enough, data centers out there to keep up with it, then, like, it's going to be cost prohibitive for businesses, and it'll be just cheaper to hire a person than it is to, like, run a model and try to, like, adopt it for your business. So it's just like we'll probably end up seeing, like, certain things that it does really well, and then other things that, like, it's just too cost prohibitive for people to continue to run them, and you'll just get a little bit of a washout in the markets. Um, but who knows? Maybe we're in an AI super cycle.
Yeah, Microsoft is starting to cash out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's how you know.
Or at least they will cut like most expensive like users for
Yeah,
them.
totally. Well, I think with them, it's like they try to get all these businesses to adopt Copilot, and then you have, like, the businesses adopting Copilot, but what's a big issue for, like, a lot of, like, enterprise businesses is that they have, and large enterprise businesses, they have, like, pushback internally for adopting the new, processes, and then it just, like, the change doesn't end up sticking, inside of those organizations, and so then they have like maybe like 5 people out of like, you know, 5,000 people that are actually like using the tool, and then it's like, well, why are we spending all this money on it if like it just doesn't work for us to, it's not creating any optimization, and you know, it's one of those things that is going to probably take some more time, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for sharing. Appreciate the feedback on that, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what comes from the improved enhancement of the EVM um, uh, updates on Airmid.
And like so like there should be nothing special about it because like this EVM thing is only if some transaction fail, then
Mhm.
we can do like with manual process this
Okay,
reversal or
got it.
process the transaction. But yeah, but the bridge should work normally for the.
Sweet. That's good stuff. Um, all right. Well, looking back at the agenda, I leave space for a HOV update, but haven't heard much about HOV in a long time at this point. I did actually recently go into the old application and um, you know take some actions in there. But yeah, at any rate, we'll see. You know what ends up happening with HOV. I mean, still looking forward to it. Still optimistic that something's going to happen eventually. So, cool. We'll give a little DorkFi update to recently pushed an update to the application. And oh, did someone else join up here?
It's me.
Yeah, what's up? How
Hey,
we doing?
doing fine. Just wanted to be present in case I was helpful, you know?
Yeah, no, of course, you're always helpful. And yeah, I'll hand it over to you to provide some feedback or talk about the project as well. But the the markets page, we did a refresh on the user experience for markets and user interface. So go check that out. It's a little bit you know easier to look at and easier to navigate as well. So we've got in my opinion, quite a better layout for what we've got going on there. And we're continuing to make some improvements to load times and just the UI in general. We know that there had been some lag in some of the load times for our modals. So we went in and we optimized the load times for the modals um, and have made it a little bit quicker to navigate through. So feel free to go in and check it out. And what else am I missing, Haruf? We've done a lot of stuff.
We're making some progress on on the achievement stuff and also cross-chain NFTs. One of the things that I think would be kind of fun for people to experience is the fact that the vision is and the ability hopefully soon is for people to be able to bridge their NFTs and vote with them on whatever chain they want to vote for things on. Um, and um, and I would think it's going to take a little bit of time, but that will also come with being able to claim your rewards um, as well. So we'll have to take a look at how that's going to be set up. But Aramid has said that they were willing to refund the transfer of project tokens from Void to Algo, so we would be able to have a pool of tokens there for use. Um, so Yeah, I mean, we've got basically things that are very like user centric coming up.
Yeah. And the other thing that's on my to-do list for this week as well is the digging in a little bit more to the share button, so that we can,
Mm.
have some more engagement going, and people can just quickly share an engaging image, and that is based on some work that Zarmian actually did, at our request, and I think he put out an open source.
Because he's
Uh,
my bitch. I tell him to do stuff.
yeah, but he put out an open source repo for it's called Canvas, and it allows for you to share dynamic images straight from your app. So, you know, for example, if you make a large deposit or make a vote or claim your unit, those are some of the things that um, excuse me, that we're planning on building in to be engaging and have the ability to kind of share that information out with a dynamic image on social media outlets. So, it's something that Airman could potentially adopt as well, or, other projects, because it's all open source. And it's one of those things that I've seen in other ecosystems. For example, Jupiter. I don't see it as much right now just because perps have been pretty quiet. But in the height of the last cycle, I would say, like, it's one of those things that gets people excited and engaged just because they're able to, promote their profit and loss, and
See what
really
their
kind
friends
of,
are doing.
yeah, exactly, get some more visibility to their platform. So it's fun. It's a kind of a more social engagement, and I'd say that that's heavily what we're focused on right now is getting more engagement, and it would be great for you guys to all engage with us on social media, and even if you're not participating in any of the any of the farms or doing a whole lot on the application. It's one of those calls to action for the broader community that, rising tides lift all boats. If we can, get some more visibility on all the great applications that we're building and working on in the Voya area, we might be able to get some more eyeballs on the Voya token, and push things forward that way. The other thing that I guess I'll tease it because it's happening tomorrow, and we're going to be probably we've been told not to make any big announcement or promote it, do any marketing just yet. But since it's starting tomorrow, and subsequently sometime over the weekend or early next week, there'll be a big article and announcement on it. We've actually Dork Labs has been accepted into an accelerator program. It's the additional outside investors, and it's a really good opportunity for us to kind of get our chops wet and ready for get ready for the incoming DeFi summer, if you will. So I'm excited about it. I've had several meetings so far, and then tomorrow is like the kind of kickoff event that I'll be attending. It's a kind of an all-day thing, so super excited about it, and I think it's a really great opportunity for us to get some more visibility, especially in the Seattle startup community. That's kind of primarily what this is all about. So very, very, very excited. Looking forward to it. And yeah, we'll be making some noise about that as well once we get the green light for it. But I figured I'd just leak some alpha. So
Gonna get our dork wet in the Washington fog.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So, anyways, let's move on and talk about. We've got 30 minutes for open discussion, and if we want to cut it short, we can as well. But um, yeah, let's see what was on the agenda. It was the
Yeah, so congrats to the accelerator.
yeah. Thank you. I know it's been like a long time coming at this point. We've yeah submitted an application like back in February, I want to say, and then we've known that we're going to be participating in it. They made selections in like early or mid-April, I would say, and then let us know. But we've had to kind of keep it under wraps at this point. So super excited, and I think it's a great opportunity overall. All that fun stuff. So excited about it. Um, all right, so just jumping into the open discussion piece. Yeah, and if Johnny, if you're available and not eating broccolis, and want to jump up here and kind of chat a little bit about the proposal that I had put through, based on a lot of the things that you were saying and recommendations that you're making. I took that and put some thought into it, put some guardrails around how we might want to introduce the program, but essentially just a 1,000-foot view. It's an incentive program to um, get some more liquidity and get a farm up and running on Tinyman with some Avoy. So it would require, us bridging some percentage of the Voy to Algorand and then committing that to be a part of a farm on Tinyman to, hopefully get some people. Let's see.
currently available from Evoy, but I think it's only about 20 million Voy or something. So that's perhaps a point. If it's possible to before the farm goes live, add liquidity in some other way, so there's more available, so the price doesn't immediately jump up, and then people will sell immediately afterwards. So that was one. And another consideration about that proposal was it's heavily based on the Aramid bridge. While I admire and respect Ludo for all the efforts put into it, and it always has worked for me, Aramid is a bit not the most responsive on the Discord, and some people are complaining that they had issues bridging. So we're currently still 100% dependent on Aramid for the bridging, and that would also be the pool would be Avoy. So it's a large dependency. I don't think it's a pretty big problem, but it's something I also wanted to bring up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we are going to have to consider, at least in the first point that you had addressed, is that the fact that there's not enough liquidity over in in that pool anyways, is that, if this is going 100% through the, through the council and the foundation, is there, um, we don't, I don't think we have any Algorand to pair it with even. So there's like a chicken and egg problem of like, okay, we've got all this Void, but we don't have any Algorand to even pair it with. So how do we solve that, that problem?
Yeah, indeed. Another thing that I was still considering or thinking about was doing an airdrop for the old the old staking contracts. So at the mainnet launch, all the old accounts that are still online from the staking addresses to airdrop some Voy on that, but that's more a network decentralization concern. So it was mentioned like a couple of weeks ago, but it kind of disappears to the background. But I still think that's a pretty good idea to see if we can reward the original mainnet launch staking contracts with some additional Voy. And it's a bit of people that bought afterwards are going to get slightly discriminated because of possible price inflation, but on the other hand, you would be rewarding people who put in from the start and did considerably lose money on that. So there's something also to be said about that.
Totally. And I think that makes sense to me. I think there's airdrops are always kind of like a double-edged sword, um, especially if you're like targeting farmers, right? Airdrop farmers. But if you're going back in time and looking at the early contributors and those people who secured the network early on in testnet in particular, and those people that were very active in the early stages of the testnet council, I think that definitely would make up for some concerns about just people receiving the tokens and then just farming them and
Yeah.
dumping immediately. I think we might want to, if there's any views into like how active these people are, these addresses are still. I know they're probably not all that active on Voy at the moment, just because there isn't a whole lot of activity going on. But it would be kind of a shame if we distributed some of the tokens and people just had completely exited like blockchain and crypto entirely, and
Yeah.
then they don't have their wallet address anymore, or it's just long gone at this point. And then I guess it does go to essentially burning the tokens at that point.
Mm.
So maybe it's not that big of a deal, but it's just a consideration that I think might get some pushback on. From your perspective, like, what would you think a fair amount of tokens would be for that type of distribution?
That's a big question for the for the bear to answer. I
Yeah,
don't know.
a lot of
I'd
pressure.
also scale it. So the big addresses don't get as much. So you get proportional scaling. So whales get very little, and people who just put in a small amount but always have kept a node running over the past year and a half get larger amounts. The airdrop I do not per se liquidity wise, but more to decentralize the network to get rid of the whale problem at the top. As in terms of an amount, I don't know. I'd throw like, Voy is basically worthless at this point, so I'd throw like 100 million, 200 million and distribute it. I don't. But that's also just throwing at it.
I was struggling with that same amount, issue with the proposal about trying to juice the farm over there on the Algorand side, and yeah, what I came to was start with 1% of the current supply that's just kind of sitting there and not doing anything, that is reserved for, you know, different types of programs and proposals like this anyway, and then scale it if it meets the KPIs that are set out in the proposal itself.
Mm.
Scale it up to 2%, and then if we're meeting the
The 3.
KPIs continuing, then we go to 3% over a a 3 to 6 month, or even 12-month long time frame. And it just depends on how much, are we actually hitting the metrics that we're looking for, and part of that is using this committee to monitor those metrics and make the decision on whether or not, like, hey, is this program actually working, or do we go back to the drawing board and try to figure something else out? So I think you could probably apply similar metrics to the airdrop program, and I think it would be worth like really digging in. It's a little more nuanced in terms of like how we proportionally scale the program, like than doing a farm.
Yeah.
And so I think there needs to be just like maybe a little bit more discussion on like, hey, who are the wallets that we want to reactivate, and then is there any way to see if those people, like, what are we going to get out of the airdropping to those people? Is it mostly just the additional decentralization aspect of things, or is it like, do we want to try to like wake up some of these wallets and like try to get people to go and do stuff again?
Do the tokens become locked for the airdrop, or is it?
Yeah. I wanted to interject that also. I asked that to Zalmian at one point, and he said, so my idea was to add up the tokens, but not to do it like in the spendable part of the contracts, but if it was possible to add up them to the locked amount, so that they also would follow the same vesting program that was originally selected. But he said that was pretty hard to accomplish. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. But what you could do is you could wrap it and then airdrop them with some of the logic. It wouldn't do it right into that same contract, but you could go find all those contracts, right? And then you could be like, oh, here we're gonna mint, more, with the same logic of like, oh, it ends in 3 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they just have like an additional, locked, and I don't think you'd be able to get it like validated so that it's running on the node. But you can put it in there,
But
wallet probably.
it's exactly why we want to do it. So there's more VOI evenly distributed in the consensus mechanism, so that token would not be able to participate.
Sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And if that's the key point, then and that's the outcome that we're looking for, is just on the, hey, let's decentralize this a little bit more. Let's reward those early participants that locked up their tokens for 5 years, but have kind of vanished and aren't doing a whole lot.
I purely do it for accounts that are still actively running a node. So which there aren't that many of anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, that's also why I base the amount at which I base the amount. So you now have 700 million running consensus. If you make it 200 million or 300 million, you'll decrease centralization as a figure of speech by 30%. So that would be a I don't know. It's a tough topic. The centralization issue and the liquidity issue is something I then had a lot of thinking about over the last couple of months or even a year, and it's a real tough cookie to solve. Like you said, the liquidity problem is a chicken and egg situation. It's hard to move anything without money. On the other hand, if you're going to attract investment capital, you'll have the same problem that Algorand has, and you'll lose the community aspect. So, yeah, it's a tough problem to solve.
Totally. Yeah, and I don't know the best way to go about getting additional liquidity in the pool or getting the algo to pair it with. I don't know if it's like, hey, use DorkFi to, hey, council, use DorkFi to borrow some algo. We've got pretty low rates, but at the same time, you don't want to take on debt for that. You also don't want to like go sell the token, go sell Voy and create more,
Let's all
more
just
friction.
rob a bank.
Yeah, exactly. It's robbing Peter to pay Paul type of situation, and I don't know if there's like maybe it's just a community effort, right, where you're getting people that are already active in both spaces, which we're pretty much looking at right now, to juice the liquidity, and incentivize that in some way as well. But yeah, once again, chicken and egg problem that I think still needs to be addressed before it's either passed or commented on further.
Yeah.
Curious, Ludo, what do you think about all this?
Well, I don't know. I don't have really opinion. Like providing more void to the market will just mean that void price will go down because people will be selling at some point.
Yeah, and that's where I think the duration piece, like you kind of need to have,
Yeah, the
the
question is like what needs to happen so that the void price is not going down anymore. Like people starting buying void probably for some long-term holdings.
Yeah, and I think that that's kind of like part of the farm itself is like, okay, we might be able to get, in some ways, it is an incentive structure to get people to actually jump in and buy void to try to capitalize on the farm itself. And if it doesn't work, there's some guardrails that are put in place, that we can just pull back on.
Yeah, every time when there was like farming on Algorand, the project went down in long term.
Mm.
Like usually the farming incentives causes the price to go short term up, but people start selling basically second day that they or the day that they receive some rewards. So if the rewards would be paid uh, like the regular farming fees, like for holding the position, people would be probably selling each every reward they have every day. So I don't know.
And Johnny, what's your thoughts on that?
It's probably right. Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, if we create some bounty program, that the point would be like to distribute some voice so that people are more active in the Voi projects that might be beneficial for the Voi ecosystem. But yeah, perhaps we need still a little more projects for this, because like what right now there is like Aramid, there is Dorkfy, and perhaps few games now, but oh, yeah. I don't know if it would be good to incentivize people to do bounties. Perhaps yes. I don't know.
Yeah, I like the
Like
bounty idea.
something that is something like I have in the capitalism game, that people has to log in every day if they do some, or something like it that was on Algorand site. But the Algorand did it that they wanted to promote every week like different projects, and um, I don't know if that was good idea, because like in first few weeks people understood that like they are not getting any rewards after that, because like only one gets like, I don't know, 100,000 algos, and everybody else gets basically nothing. So yeah, the effort there was I think diminishing every week, and the projects that were running like later weeks, like I guess they had little less um, effort there from the users. I don't know. So perhaps it would be good, like on a weekly basis, that people do something in the projects. I don't know, like in multiple projects or any project, and they get some points. And I don't know if the lottery is a good idea, because like people are then disincentivized. But perhaps the lottery where first 100 players or 100 people get some good rewards, like some rewards,
Mm-hmm.
uh, might be uh, good enough incentive for general public.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I do think like just leaning into the bounty program and try to get, things for projects up that reoccurring, you know, interest and people coming back, that makes a ton of sense to me. It's like, what do we want to see built, right? That's the key. It's like, what do we want done for us, and then yeah, that's always been one of the issues, is not knowing, you know, what are the things that we would pay for, right? I think that was one of the, points of friction in the last council, the initial council that I was a part of, where we had all these projects that were submitting, applications, and it was just kind of a really open-ended process, and we didn't have any key outcomes that we were looking for to evaluate the submissions against. So, and I think that that's one of those things that, once again, chicken and egg problem. So, yeah, good points, Ludo, and appreciate the feedback. Thinking also about this chicken and egg problem and all that stuff. Do we know how things turned out for the hackathon? I know we got like about 5 more minutes here, but yeah, do we know what ended up? Do you guys have a result yet? Maybe not.
I submitted my terrible scoring. But I don't know if Yuri has anything else on it. I just know what I submitted. I can give a quick things I saw. The games was fun, but the two things that stand out were the drip wage and the watt tracker. So I don't know if Hadoop followed up, saw anything about that. An agent that tracks the price of watt, and you can also like give it commands to drops below the peg, or buy if it drops below the peg and sell if it increases. So that's Voiager. I thought that was a really interesting thing because it contributes to the ecosystem, and the wage, the payroll, wage, yeah, thing, drip wage
Yeah,
was
have you
also
tried
nice.
it?
We tested it in the meeting, and it seems to work.
Nice.
I didn't set up the Voiager, and I don't have any time, and I needed to run a separate virtual machine to isolate it, so I didn't get to that. He sent a video demo also about that,
Sweet.
so it should work. But I deducted some points at the working category because I didn't actually was able to test it myself.
Sure.
Have we got Furry?
Yep.
Yeah, clear.
Nice. Awesome. That sounds great. Looking forward to seeing the results and getting some people uh some credit where credit is due for whoever, took the prize home. So excited to see that. Got it. Nice. Yeah, I think you'll have to go through the council for that. Sure. Yep. Yeah, and I know that he's also just took on a new gig. I mean, he's professionally he's a lawyer, so he's with a new firm, and so that's taken up a little bit of his time as well. So yeah, I think I'll reach out to him, and I need to have a conversation with him anyways, and see what's going on there. Sure. Yeah, chicken and egg problem once again. Okay, cool. Well, I'll reach out to Gov and see what's up on that front as well. Yeah, no problem. Sweet. Well, thank you guys. I know we're just about out of time here. Is there anything else you guys want to chat about while we're still here? You want to? Oh, Nuss is coming up. You coming up, Nuss?
Yeah, how's it going, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Sorry, I was driving the whole time, so
No worries. No worries at all.
Just the council election for the 2 open seats. I want to talk about that real quick and try to nail down a date for it. So we
Okay.
can, kind of hard to advertise it when we don't have a date
Yeah,
for it.
totally.
And
Yeah,
so,
and it's up to you guys when you want to do it. I know that from our end, at least on the election forum, or the election platform, we just really need to know who the candidates are, and then each of the candidates need to set up an envoy, and then we can kind of run it.
okay, yeah, I don't even know who the candidates are. So I asked Scotty yesterday if that's or on Monday if he saw them, and he said he didn't. And then he tried to look at the form and he's lost his permissions to look at it. So, and
Was
he
it
was
the
going to
one
reach
that
out to you.
was it the form that I had sent you?
Yes.
Okay, I can take a look at it because I think I'm pretty sure I made you the admin on it.
Yeah, I've lost those permissions somehow. So
All right, let me take a look and see if.
I'm about out of gas. But anyhow, that was it. A very interesting conversation today with you guys.
Yeah, and the form that I have is not the one that I sent you or made you an account owner of is I don't think that's the one that's been like circulating around. So I don't have any access to it.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we got to reach out to the Block Authority.
Sure. Who created that
And
other form?
I, I don't know. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
yep. So I don't know. That's why I jumped up, man, to see if we could get somewhere with it.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea either. Let's see.
Well, there's that one that I did. You sent me the one, and I just updated it a little bit, and then pushed it out. So, and then I haven't been able to get back to it. Other than I could fill it out. That was it.
So you can't get in there though.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm able to help on that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even know where it is. Where do you have it posted?
It's in the Discord and in Discord in the voice chat.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
And I just got to my house here. Hey, taking a minute. So I'll just DM you later. When I dig it up and give you that. Give you whatever you need.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Super windy here.
Hey, no worries. Cool. Yeah, whenever you get a chance, just shoot me a link to it. And I don't know if I'll be able to track back like where it came from, because it's not the same one that I sent you that we used previously. It looks like it's a different one. So I don't know. We'll need to figure out who's managing it.
Okay. Right on,
Cool.
man. Well, appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I'll let you go, and then yeah, once we figure out who's submitted the application and get them an envoy, we can set it up to go to vote.
I like a plan.
Sweet. All right, guys. I'll catch you all later. Good one. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.